Hey folks, welcome to Jerome Bee Farm and Homestead. This is going to be an inspection on this hive number 15. This is one of my strongest hives, just from looking at the entrance, that doesn't have a honey super on it yet. So we're going to get in here and see what we find, and maybe it'll be time to put a super on it. And also, for another video I'm doing, I'm looking for a frame of brood that I can shake nurse bees off of to boost a hive number 9 miracle hive. And I'll put a link to that at the end of the video, and I'll put the little card right here, so you can go check that out if you want. So let's get into this hive number 15. I see I've got a feeder on it, and that needs to come off. And let's get in here and see what we find. So you can see it's got pretty good activity in the front. I've seen bees bringing in a lot of pollen. There's coming in pollen right there. Yeah, look at all of them coming in. So it's a pretty active hive. Hopefully we can get a honey super on it. I'll give them just a little bit in the front. Okay, you can see we still got our sugar feeder here, a little bit of sugar left. And I'm going to give them quite a bit of smoke to get them off of this sugar, because I'm taking this out of here. Beetle traps out of the way. I'll put them right there so I can forget them. I'm going to go ahead and take this off, because from the amount of bees I see in here, I'm going to tilt this thing up and look for swarm cells. This hive looks pretty darn strong, so it may be ready to super. This frame here doesn't have anything on it. I might put it between one of these brood frames over here. Okay, outside frame, nothing much going on there. So that frame there is almost completely packed with pollen. Lots of pollen in there, this whole frame. So I'd expect to see, next to all this pollen, a brood frame right next to it, which is what we're looking for. Oh yeah. Man, that thing is laid up completely. Both sides. So I'm going to set this down. Let me check one more frame. Oh, that one pulled out hard. Got a bunch of drone brood on the bottom of this, so concerned about swarming now. Look on here for the queen. That's not a frame you typically would see the queen on, because it's all capped. Man, that is a good queen. Look at that. Wow. And the one next to it doesn't look much different. I'm going to give you a shot of what I see down in here. Okay, see if we can get the exposure on here to change. There we go. Okay, see all that white? That's drone larvae that I ripped the cells open when I pulled that frame out, because they were stuck to the bottom of it. So that's what you'll see when you have a strong hive that is about ready to swarm. So We're going to have to check this for swarm cells. Okay, we're going to resume this inspection here. I just shook off 2 frames of nurse bees over in a hive next door to boost it up. This hive is going to do well. With all this cap brood in here, it's fixing to explode. So let's go on through and finish the inspection. My smoker has about gone out. There we go. Put some leaves in there, dried leaves. I got some pine needles over in the barn. Saved me walking over there. They're starting to get a little testy. So, one thing we need to do is verify we got a laying queen in here, which we got cap brood. So she's been laying a while back, but also I see eggs around the outside here, so that means she's been laying within the last few days. So we've got a good queen in here. Might even spot her. There's a lot of bees in this hive. I think it's ready for a honey super. But we need to clean up this drone brood down here on the bottom, and also look for any swarm cells, which I haven't seen any yet. Man, there's a lot of bees in here. So I thought for a second those were swarm cells on the bottom, but that's not. So this frame here is mainly nectar around the top, and the queen's not laying on it. So this is going to be a nectar frame they're going to fill up. This frame here is total nectar and a little bit of pollen. So I've seen what I need to see. Same thing here. Very healthy hive, bringing in lots of nectar. So I'm going to put these blanks between these brood frames to checkerboard those out. What I've learned is, if you put blanks between honey frames, they don't fill it full of honey. They just pull the other frames next to it out deeper and they won't touch it. So someone left a good comment that if you put in a blank frame between brood frames, they won't draw it out like that and you won't have that problem. I'll show you what I'm talking about. See this frame here? There's nothing on it hardly at all. And this frame here is drawn out extra thick. See how thick that is? See, the only thing I can put this up against is this empty frame, unless I scrape it off and start over. So let's find those brood frames. Then we'll get in here and clean this up, which will take some time. I moved that too fast and I smashed a bee there. So I got brood on both sides. Let me get this in here. So I'm going to do the same thing on this one. Boy, there's a lot of bees in the way. So this was the outside frame. We're going to put it in here between these two brood frames. So The idea is they will draw this out as new brood comb. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to tilt this forward and I'm going to scrape off all that drone comb that was down there that I showed you earlier. Okay. We have got some mad bees. So now you'll be able to see what I'm talking about. Oh, I don't want to come loose. Kind of a balancing act. Okay, you can see there all that drone brood that I broke apart when I pulled that frame up because it was all in the bottom of that frame. Man, I've got bees all over my head. So I'm going to clean that up and set it out. So this is where you definitely need smoke, because you don't want to scrape and kill a bunch of bees. By the way, if you have chickens, they really love this stuff. So now I need to do the same thing up here. And when you're looking for swarm cells, you'll see them in basically the same locations. Right in here. There's a big slab of propolis. Okay, get out of here before they eat me alive. I tell you what, it didn't look to me like there were very many bees in the bottom of that. I'm going to take a quick look in the bottom. I may rotate these, because they're all up in the top now. Ouch. Nope, they're in the bottom too. Oh my gosh. It looks like they're over in here, but not so much on this side. But hey, I'm not going to mess with them anymore. Very angry, aggressive hive. So one thing I am going to do though, I'm going to go get a honey super and put on here, because the population in here is really fixing to explode. Okay, got our queen excluder here and a honey super and a bunch of really mad bees. smoke these here down to get this excluder on. That'll give these bees a lot more space. And maybe make me some honey. These beetle traps need oil. Okay, this is a Man Lake beetle trap oil. Just a little bit in there is all it takes. All right, let's get this hive from hell shut up. I'm not going to flip this lid over since there's so many bees on the underside of that. And if I knocked them off, they'd probably all be right back in my face, so. Okay, there we go, hive number 15. We inspected it and added a super and shook off a couple of nurse bee frames over in the hive number 9, help it out. And in the process, we made them really mad. So I'm surprised I only got stung once so far on the leg there. But anyway, give me a thumbs up if you like the video. Thumbs down, don't bother. And we'll catch you on the next video. Y'all take care.